So in this video, I'm going to share with you why I believe that we spend so much time overcomplicating happiness and how to actually enjoy life and be present in the moment. And this is one of the stories that is included on this book. My name is Carlos Alcalá, Carlito Fluito. And I wrote this book as a compilation of stories. And one key lesson that I have been learning throughout the last 10 years is life can be much more simple and much better than what we are actually doing and trying to accomplish all these things. So my story started when I was studying psychology, and I traveled to a different country with the Erasmus scholarship. And being there, I had all these hopes of now I change my country, now I change my environment. I'm going to meet all these great people, all these great different students that are in Spain, and I'm going to actually find my community and find the people that truly are going to elevate me. However, when I arrived to Belgium, most of them were like 20 years old that just wanted to get drunk, to pass by the university, to spend and waste their time watching series. And it didn't resonate with me. And I felt so lonely and I felt so disconnected that I fall into a depression. And I fall into a depression where I was hating a lot of these people. I had like this truly feeling of disgust and disconnection, and I want to be as away from you. So I isolated myself from the Spanish people, I isolated myself from the students from Belgium, and I felt really lonely and really disgusted with life and hateful with everyone. But one day, I realized that all this disgust was projected towards my addiction towards social media. I was using my phone too much, I was using my computer too much. And one day I decided I'm going to disconnect totally from my phone, totally from my computer. And being on the room where I was trying to study for my exams, being there locked, I realized that all we have is the present moment. And all we have is the here and now. And our consciousness, being aware and witnessing reality and what is this miracle of being alive. And I had such a profound connection with the present moment and with my being alive that I had this super huge spiritual experience. And just for context, I come from a background where I used to be an atheist. I used to be 7-year-old kid questioning, skeptic and curious and asking the religion teacher if Jesus Christ died naked, why he resurrected with clothes. So I was asking these fundamental questions about religion, like what is all this religion, what is all this God in the sky. But 10, 12, 15 years later, I have this super strong spiritual experience where I connected with the power of being alive in the present moment and the miracle of life. And I'm like, okay, so this is what religions speak about. This is what enlightenment is about. And that day I chose to study scientifically what's going on our psychology, on our brain, with this miracle of connecting with such a powerful, strong sensation that we connect with divinity. We believe it's God. We believe that now we are connected with God and we are experiencing reality from this higher level of consciousness, this spiritual state. So I spent years and years studying all these positive enlightened state of consciousness, and I enrolled in a positive psychology master. So I studied for years about positive emotions, about this mindfulness and yoga, but it wasn't enough. I wanted more experiences, and that's why I went to India and I learned about yoga and I learned about meditation and I learned about vipassana. I was doing retreats. I was spending hours into experiencing and understanding more bodily and more subjectively what is all this thing of spirituality. And after that I was like, but I need to still to complement this with more intellectual reasoning and more understanding of how it works. And that's why I enrolled into a PhD of psychology of religion. And I was studying again the story of religions, how religions evolve and how the different gods function and what are the psychological functions of religion and how religions keeps groups together and how religions have benefits for the individual and for the groups and for society. So I was studying all that, and eventually I got a position as a PhD student studying something that was very relevant for me, which was Taoism, which is this frameless framework where we can observe reality from the openness of the present moment experience, which is exactly the opposite of what I have been indoctrinated with, which was Catholic religion, where there are things that are good, things that are bad, and then you go to heaven or you go to hell. And for me, I was rejecting any type of dogma, any type of obligations and instructions and authority. So when I found Taoism was for me the solution. It's like the most simple thing is the most truth to reality when we are just present and aware. And I was studying on the PhD what is the effect of exposure to nature into moral behavior. How being in front of plants, in front of nature, is going to make us better human beings, more prosocial, more caring for each other. And I was studying that, and at the beginning I was super motivated with the PhD, but after some time I was feeling like, okay, how is that I'm studying exposure to nature and how being on the middle of the mountain is going to feel connection with God, or is going to make me this amazing spiritual experience, but I'm spending so many hours locked inside this office looking at these screens, just like a workaholic, spending my nights sleeping on the office. Is this really what you want, Carlos? Is this really the happiness and the connection that you were looking for so long? Is this really what you want? So after 2 years of being out of alignment on this PhD, I decided to quit because I burned out, I was feeling lonely again, and I was feeling so out of purpose. Therefore, I decided to find something that truly connected me with the purpose of me being alive. And that's why I changed my life completely. I was doing this PhD and I said, like, this is not for me. This is Europe. Again, the same things. People that are always on the offices. So I decided to change my life 360 degrees. And I went to Africa because it's the root. Because I had my friends there in Africa, and the people there, they just shine. They just smile. They are just present. They live day by day, but they live with so much joy and so much happiness. They know something. They embody something that we in Europe are forgetting, which is connection with the present moment, with the day-to-day reality, with helping the people around, with helping your families, with going through struggles with so much strength and resilience. So I went there, and by living with them, I started to connect with this reality of just be present now, be happy, sharing moments with other people. And there was one day that I had this huge, powerful experience where I'm walking around Lusaka, the capital of Zambia, and I'm walking around the streets, and I start seeing these kids playing with rocks, playing with branches of trees, playing with the leaves of the trees, playing with the dirt, playing with each other. And I understood it. After years studying psychology, after years studying religion, after years going to India to do all this yoga and meditation training, after all these years trying to get to the truth by doing and by thinking and by studying, by intellectualizing reality, I saw these kids just playing with each other. It was so powerful to see them happy that it didn't matter who they were or they were not. It didn't matter how important they believe they were. Like all of us, we believe we are really important. It didn't matter what they had or what they didn't have. It didn't matter because they were present. They were alive. They were sharing a positive experience with each other through play. And I could connect so deeply with these moments of my past where I have been the happiest. And it's not so difficult to think about when was I the happiest of my life. And it's always connected with these moments of play, with this moment of sharing a positive experience through your body with other people in the present moment, where you are not thinking about pretending to be a person or another person. It's just pure physical connection with each other on a natural environment, where you are allowed to self-express, where you are allowed to be creative, to be crazy, to just be in the present moment without any need of doing. And this is play for me. Because the happiest moment that we had as a kids, when we were forced to be on the school, locked on classrooms for 6 hours every day, it was those 30 minutes of freedom where we were allowed to go outside, to play with the nature, with our friends, with other people, and just Be present with them and be crazy and laugh and be creative and express those 30 minutes, that recess, that playground experience, that playtime. That was the key activity, the key moment that was keeping us sane and psychologically healthy and socially healthy and emotionally healthy and behaviorally and movement wise healthy, and not only healthy but also developing, because play is the key activity that allows mammals to develop their skills throughout their lifetime. It's not just that we are kids and we are learning so much and we are applying everything that we are learning through play. But it's also that we as adults, the more we keep playing, the more we keep an attitude of playfulness, the more we can keep evolving and growing and expanding. And I understood that it's so simple to come back to the most simple activity that we were using. You and me as a human beings, we have been using this for all these years of learning and developing, which is play, which is approaching the activity, the process, without any attachment to the outcome, just being focused on the present moment, enjoying the activity by itself, enjoying the people that we are sharing this experience with, focusing on the positive emotions of we are here to have fun, we are here to build a relationship. That's why one motto of Playing Camp, which is the company that I'm building to bring back playfulness into adult beings, into adulthood, this is Playing Camp. That's why one of the mottos of Playing Camp is meaningless activities for purposeful connections. Because at the end of the day, we humans are doing everything all the time, but we are all gonna die. And what truly remains when you listen to people that are 90 years old and they are dying, what do you regret? I didn't spend more time with the people that I love. What do you regret? It's not what I did, it's not what I didn't do, it's that I didn't spend more time with the people that I love, doing the things that I love, sharing my life experience through positive emotions, doing activities that were fulfilling and happy and joyful for both of us. This is why it's a mission for me, it's a purpose, to recover this most simple activity of just being on the present, sharing a positive experience with other beings. And this is play. And one of the reasons fathers and parents love so much having kids is that they recover playing to their life, because they start playing with their kids, because they can recover that moment of pure connection through joyful, meaningless activities, which is like, let's look at the tree or let's pass this ball to each other. This is play. And in Playing Camp, we are recovering those 30 minutes of playfulness, of connection, that space of shared love into the offices, which is where we need it the most. And we have been trying through training, developing how to apply non-violent skills, how to apply empathy, how to develop the resilience. We have been evolving with all these different mechanisms, all these different workshops. If we don't spend so much time on our mind, as it happened with me, with going to the master, going to the PhD, studying religion, if we put that aside for a while and we just focus on being, all this knowledge is going just to arrive to us. It's going to arrive in the form of understanding better our emotions, understanding better the emotions of the people around, and understanding better how can we participate in a co-creation of a better climate, of a better environment, of a better society. How can we be better listeners with each other, with ourselves, with each other, and with the nature, with our environment. And this is some of the things that we are learning on Playing Camp and through play. And that's why we are not overcomplicating all these things of how to be more spiritual, how to be better communicator, how to be better person, how to be more efficient. It's like, no, we are going to focus on chilling, on relaxing, on having fun, on connecting with each other, and you will see how everything else is going to be taking care of itself. The same way as when you were a kid and your purpose and your focus was just playing. And when you did that, everything else took care of itself because you were developing and you were learning and growing. And the best of it is that it doesn't require effort, that you can do it effortlessly, like the Wu way. the concept in Taoism, which is effortless action. That's play, effortless action. And the sage, the wise man in Taoism, gets everything done by not doing anything. Gets everything done through Wu Wei. Everything gets done when you enter into the flow of effortless action, and you're just doing in the flow of life, and everything gets done and taken care of itself. Wu Wei, Taoism, is a philosophy of simplicity, it's a philosophy of happiness, of joyfulness, of enjoying life through playing. Taoism is joyful connections in nature, joyful connection with yourself, joyful connection with others, joyful connection with the environment, with the nature. That's playing camp. Playing camp. Hard. Abundance for you, abundance for all of us, abundance for the environment. Guys, my name is Carlos Alcalá, Carlito Fluito, and you can find more on this book, and you can find more, of course, on the website of Playing Camp. Thank you very much for your attention, and please leave your comment below. I would love to hear your thoughts about play, Wu Wei, and share your story. Do you think that we are overcomplicating happiness? I do.